Sirajuddin sir, I had done this YouTube live streaming and I made you as a host, sir. You please
Okay,
carry
madam.
on.
Okay, madam. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
நீ இது பண்ணினியா அவங்களுக்கு அனுப்பி கொடுத்துட்டியா? ஓகே போ படிக்க போ 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 போ.
Dear participants, kindly introduce yourself through chat box, your name, designation, department, college or institute name, city name, etc. I repeat, dear participants, kindly introduce yourself through chat box, your name, designation, department, college or institute name, city name, etc. Sharp at 7:35, we'll start the session. Madam, speaker madam, Dr. Kavita madam, Dr. Kavita madam, dear participants, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes, madam. Thank you. Thank you very much. Dear participants, kindly introduce yourself through chat box or unmuting. Dear participants, kindly introduce yourself through chat box, your name, designation, department, college or institute name, city name, etc.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Kavita madam, kindly go ahead.
Yes, sir. First of all, very good evening to all the participants who are present here in the 7 days faculty development program, which is focused on training and modern teaching methods, where multiple sessions have been discussed or completed successfully without any disruption. Where first session was focused on active learning strategies, engaging the students beyond the lectures. In another session, we talked about the technology in enhanced teaching with the help of blended and flipped and including hybrid learning. We completed that session. And in another session, we talked about authenticated assessment and feedback, designing the meaningful evaluation, where we talked about formative assessment and summative assessment with the help of multiple examples through online and offline mode. And in another session, we talked about the inclusive and differentiated instructions, addressing the diverse learners' requirements or need, where we talked about that how the diversity there may be in your session in your no classroom, but different strategies that you may adopt or different method of teaching you may adopt to tackle with the diversification that is available in the class and different you know platforms or different strategies that you can adopt. Here today's topic for the discussion is gamification and edutech integration, making the learning interactive and fun. So myself, Dr. Kavita Daya, working as an assistant professor, welcome you all here in this session. And before starting the session, let's have a quick overview of this session, where gamification in the education integrates the game mechanics such as points, budgets, and leaderboards to enhance the students' engagement and motivation. So, by leveraging the psychological principle behind game-based learning, gamification also create an environment where reward, challenges, and level fostering the deeper learning. So educational technology that is also known as edtech, that tools like Kahoot, quizzes, and Classcraft support the gamification lesson by providing the interactive experiences that align with the courses and different objectives, and the different tools that create an engaging environment where students earn reward and engagement engaging in the challenges, where gamified lesson can also be tailored to suit the different learning styles and ability, offering the flexible difficulties, levels, and pathway. However, the different challenges such as engagement, drop, and technology limitation overemphasize on competition that must be addressed, and assessing the students' performance in gamified environment through formative assessment and tracking progress, ensuring the continuous learning. Finally, research and case studies demonstrate a positive impact on gamification on the students' performance and long-term motivation, where providing its effectiveness in academic success. So let's start the session with the discussion over learning objectives of the session first, where the first objective of the session is to introduce to gamification in the education. Here we are also going to define to integrate the edutech tools with the gamification, or enhanced learning. Here we are also going to discuss the inclusive gamification designing for diverse learner. So after discussing the learning objectives of the session, let's start the session with the discussion over the meaning of gamification in the education. So gamification in education refers to integration of game like elements such as points, badges and leaders board into learning environment to enhance the students' engagement, motivation and learning outcomes too. Here the concept also involves applying the game's mechanics and dynamics to educational context, transforming mundane learning tasks into more interactive, rewarding and enjoyable experiences. So in gamified learning environment where students earn different points for completing the different tasks and unlocking the badges for achievement and may also compete on leaderboards to track the progress, creating a dynamic atmosphere that also drives the participation and completion too. So what are the different core elements of gamification? Where first one is point, then badges and leaderboard. Where if I'm talking about the points, then students can also earn the different points for completing the task, which also provides the immediate feedback and recognition for their efforts. Where points are also often accumulated over a time, and they can also be used to unlock further learning activities or rewards. Then second element is that badges. Badges represents the milestone or the different achievements that can also be awarded for specific accomplishment, such as mastering a topic or completing a series of assignments. So they are also serving as a visual symbol for accomplishment, motivating the students to work towards goal. Third element is that leaderboard, where leaders board also display a ranking of students that become on performance and accumulated point. These, while it is also adding on the competitive element of learning, and it can also serve as a tool for self-reflection and improvement. So leaders board also control or accumulate the different students to work harder to climb up to the rank. So another thing is that enhancing the engagement and motivation that gamification enhance the engagement and motivation by creating a learning environment that is interactive, fun and rewarding. Students are more likely to stay engaged in lesson when they actively participating in gamified system. Here I'm going to discuss the gamification work in practices where active participation by incorporating the game mechanism into learning process where students are encouraged to actively participate. For example, platforms like Kahoot or quizzes have been widely adopted in both online and offline classrooms, where students also earn points on correct answers, compete with their peers on leaders board, and even earn badges for their progress. These games engage the students in reviewing the subject matter while maintaining a fun atmosphere. For example, in an online setting where university like MIT University that uses the game element in their learning management system to promote the students' participation, students can also unlock different opportunities, receive the points for completing the module, and even have badges for high level of engagement that leading to increased participation. Then another engagement or motivation that is immediate feedback. Definitely, when you are teaching with the games, then immediate feedback is possible where you are observing the student or the learner directly. This instant gamification also helps them to understand what they learn and where they need improvement, encouraging a growth mindset. So, if I'm talking about the example, then University of Michigan that utilize a gamified approach to course delivery where students also earn the different points for assessments and quizzes that can also be traded for rewards. And these models has helped the students to engage better with the material and feedback is provided immediately after task completion, ensuring a more tailored and learning experiences. Then another is increased motivation and competitiveness, where if competitive nature of leaders board A sense of achievement through points and badges motivate the students to improve their performance continuously. The desire to unlock higher level of or achieve certain milestone drives the students to participate actively and improve their skills. In online offline classroom setting where Tata Institute of Social Sciences that has integrated gamification element into their classroom activities, students are also given tasks with points, rewards, and compete their top rank in the leadership and academic challenges, which motivate the students to engage with the learning material more deeply. Then collaborative learning, that gamification does not always have to be competitive. It can also encourage the collaboration. Students may also work in team, earning collaborative points and reward for group achievements. And these collaborative aspects also help them to develop teamwork and communication while keeping the students motivated. Best example that Harvard University, where professors use the collaborative projects that incorporate the element of gamification, where students work together in team to complete the task or the challenges, which earn them the points that go towards their final grade. So these teams-based tasks that helps the students to work together, which is also enhancing their communication, cooperation, and problem-solving skill too. Then how gamification is enhancing the motivation in both online and offline classroom. Here, we are going to talk first about the online classroom where gamification can also make traditional classroom more interactive, where students can participate in quizzes, group competition, and achievement based on the games. For example, the educator can also conduct the quizzes for both toward reward and real-time feedback during the physical classes to keep the students engaged. Where online classroom in classroom where gamified elements are also often embedded in learning class management system or educational platform. So these systems can also track the students progress, providing the badges and display the leaderboard to create a sense of competition and achievement both in the mind of the learner. So another here I'm going to talk about the key principles of game based learning, where game based learning is nothing but which is involving the integration of game mechanics and principles into learning process to enhance the students engagement, motivation, and understanding, where you are delivering the content with the help of the different games or no a game sort of activities. So this approach leverages the inherent element of the games such as reward, challenges, and levels to create an interactive and immersive learning experiences. So this game based a learning process that foster deeper cognitive engagement and reinforce the learning, and including it is also encouraging that skill development in a way that traditional teaching method might not. So it is very improved, it is very engaging activity that you are doing for the learners to keep them engaged and to enhance their learning experiences too. So the psychological principle behind the game-based learning is that motivation and engagement, were one of the key psychological principles behind game-based learning is intrinsic motivation. Games are designed to be engaging, which increases the player's internal drive to continue playing and learn the progress effectively. So according to self-determination theory, when learners feel autonomy, compete, and relatedness, that their intrinsic motivation increases, and this translates into students in educational setting feeling more motivated to learn when game based elements are included. So example is that at Jindal University or Jindal Global University, where educators have implemented Kahoot, gamified quizzes platforms where students earn different points based on the quiz performances, and this boost also boost engagement and learning motivation, as students not only compete but also sees the tangible rewards in a form of points. So the quick feedback mechanism from Kahoot adds to the students' sense of completeness and encouraging them to continue participating effectively. Then challenges and mastery, that game-based learning and revolves around the principle of challenges and mastery, that games create a structure where students face the different challenges at various levels. So overcoming these challenges results in mastery, which also going to help them to build up the confidence and their competency too. So these challenges also based on learning environment, which is also encouraging that students do not experience frustration from different tasks that are too easy but are also too overwhelming by tasks that are too difficult. So the best example here I'm going to discuss that Banaras Hindu University, that is an introductory computer programming courses that use the game-based assignments where students level up by completing the coding challenges. And these assignments start easy but become progressively more difficult, helping the students to build up their programming skills incrementally. So, how game mechanics promote the deeper learning and engagement? Where if I'm talking about the rewards that are more powerful motivator in game-based learning, and they can also come up with the various forms, including the points and badges, achievements, and real-world incentives. Rewards like that are making the learning feel more like a game or provide students with the sense of achievement, motivating them to continuously learning and striving for the improvement. The example is that Microsoft Minecraft education edition that has also used to the school globally as a tool for teaching the subjects like mathematics, history, computer science. Players can also earn in-game achievements by solving the complex problems and completing the various educational tasks. This reward system also ensures that students stay engaged and continuously strive to achieve higher level of proficiency. So if I'm talking about the challenges, then challenges in game-based learning are designed to push the students to think critically, solve the problems, and apply their knowledge creatively. In educational games, these challenges are often tired with the increasing level of difficulty and so that students feel progressively challenged without becoming discouraged. So the example here is that at Symbiosis International University, where online game-based learning tools like quizzes, Socrative that are used to facilitate the real-time assessment, and these games also offer a variety of questions ranging from basic to complex, encouraging students to engage deeply with the content to overcome each challenge. Where Kahoot is also online quiz tool that used by the educators globally, allow the students to face time-bound challenges that require fast recall and solving. So competitive element of Kahoot encourages the students to push themselves to answer quickly and accurately, resulting in improved knowledge and retention and increasing the learning engagement. Then another element, that is level in game-based learning that provide clear goal and objectives where students progress through different levels, they achieve mastery over different aspects of the subject matter. A sense of progression and achievement is also crucial in for maintaining the motivation and engagement, as it also going to provide a visible representation of for growth and learning. So the best example here, as I took to discuss with you people, that Manipal University, Mind University, the game-based learning platform that Classcraft is used to engage the students in a variety of academic subjects, where platform is going to allow the learners to level up by completing the different tasks and learning module 2. So they can also gain the different points, unlock new abilities and achieve higher level based on their academic performances. Another example is that Quizlet Live, that gamified study tool that used by educators worldwide, involves the students competing in teams to answer the questions. As students correctly answer the questions, their teams level up, moving closer to the victory. This system promotes teamwork, knowledge, and application. It is also going to help them to the students track their learning progress. So integration edutech tools with the gamification for enhanced learning, where gamification and educational technology are two powerful sources that, when combined, can revolutionize the way that students engaging with the learning material. Gamification also adds some games like elements such as points, badges, and leaderboard into non-game context like education, while edutech tool provide a necessary platform and different technologies that are also facilitating these gamified experiences in for the learners. Where integrating these two in the learning process creates an environment that is both engaging and effective, and results is also enhanced student motivation, better retention for the information, and deeper understanding of the content. So let's explore the role of educational technology in facilitating the gamified learning, where edtech tools are crucial in making the gamified learning more accessible and scalable, where particularly in both online and offline learning environments, these tools also allow the instructors to design and deliver the learning experiences that also incorporate the interactive elements such as quizzes, challenges, and real-time feedback. So they are also tracking the students' progress and provide the instant assessments, which are the key features in gamification. By making the learning experiences more interactive and enjoyable, these tools also significantly boost the students' engagement, leading to the improved academic outcomes. So integration of edutech tool with gamification involves using these tools to create game-like experiences that align with the learning objectives. The role of EdTech is not only to present the content but also to foster the competition, reward success, and enable the students to engage with the learning material in such a way that is more exciting than traditional teaching methods. And these tools also, in conjunction with the gamified learning strategies, transform the classroom into a space of active participation and engagement. So, different edutech platforms that have made the gamified learning experiences a part of everyday teaching, both in online and offline learning environment. Here are few platforms that are useful for the gamified lesson. That first one is Kahoot, where Kahoot is game-based learning platform that allows the educator to create fun and interactive quizzes that students can also participate in real time, where quizzes are displayed on screen and students respond using their smartphones, tablets, and computers. Kahoot's points system, time pressure, and instant feedback mechanism align with the principle of gamification. Here, the best example that I took to discuss with the Kahoot, that Shiv Nadar University Kahoot is regularly used to engage the students in business management, including the engineering courses, where professors are used to create the different quizzes that act as a quick formative assessment to review the topic covered during the lecture. And the live competition aspects of Kahoot motivates the students to learn while enjoying the process, which increases their engagement. Then Harvard University, which is also using the Kahoot as an interactive quiz tool using its online courses. During live streamed classes, students from various countries compete in real time. These quizzes are also designed to check their understanding and retention for critical concepts, and the points they earn add a competitive layer to the learning experiences. Second one is quizzes. Quizzes is another gamified quiz platform where students answer the multiple choice questions in a competitive time bound environment, where platforms also offer the escriminoses quizzes, and where students also can take these quizzes at their own pace, and live quizzes where students participation in real time is possible. So MIT University, which has also incorporated the different quizzes into its online revision sessions for students preparing for final exams, where teachers create the quizzes based on the syllabus and students can also join through a game code. So competitive yet engaging formats also going to help the students review the large chunks of content quickly and efficiently. Then Badger, where Badger is another platform that allows the educator to create the badges for students who complete certain tasks or achieve the specific learning outcomes. These badges are also act as digital certificates to accomplishment, offering the students a tangible reward for their efforts and progress. Then Manipal University, which has integrated the badges into its MOOC-based courses, where students receive the badges for a successful completion module and assessment. Then these badges are also shared on students' social profile, enhancing the motivation and recognition of their academic achievements. Then designing the effective gamified lesson and activities, where these activities have a potential to significantly enhance the students' engagement and motivation by incorporating the game mechanics such as different points, rewards, levels, and challenges and leaders vote into learning process, where when designed thoughtfully, gamification can also bridge the gap between education and entertainment, making the learning experiences more interactive, enjoyable, and memorable. However, for gamification to be effective, it must align with the course objectives and foster the academic achievements while maintaining fun, immersive elements of gaming. So, how to design gamified learning experiences that align with the course objectives, where designed gamified lessons require a clear understanding of the learning objectives of the courses. And it is also essential to ensure that gamification elements such as challenges, quizzes, and rewards directly tie into these objectives. And these activities should also push the students to master the required skills and knowledge while keeping them motivated through game like incentives. Then key steps in designing the effective gamified learning. That first one is you need to identify the learning objectives first. That for what purpose you are gamifying your activity. Then map up the game element to learning goal. Yes, whatever the gaming activity you are planning, you need to align your game elements with the learning objectives of the course or that topic that you are creating the activity for. Then integrate the storyline and narrative. Yes, you need to introduce a storyline or a quest that mirror the course objectives. For example, a history course, students can also embark on a time travel adventure where they need to solve the problem related to historical event, earning points for completing each challenge. Then leveraging the learning analytics, where tasks track the students' progress using the gamified elements like leaderboard or badges to monitor their learning journey. So these also going to help them to identify the areas where students may be struggling and can provide timely intervention. Let's discuss how to balance the fun and learning while creating a challenges, quest, and reward that going to support the academic goal. So the true power of gamification lies in its ability to balance the fun with the learning, where it is also essential to design the challenges that are both enjoyable and relevant to the curriculum, and the reward must encourage the students to continue progressing and reward that their academic goal. So, what are the key elements of balancing the fun and learning? Where first is that the challenge that you should be aligned with the academic goal and designed to promote the critical thinking and including the problem solving. For example, the computer science courses, which is having a challenge that could be build up a basic application using the programming language. So this is example that I took to discuss with you people that IIT Bombay that gamified the challenges that are used to in course of like machine learning and data science. Then Quest are also used to serve as a long-term activity that student can work towards throughout the courses, and these can also be based on larger assignments or a project that encourage the students to apply the skills that they are learning. So the example for Quest is that Jamia Millia Islamia New Delhi University that use the gamification in its project management courses by assigning the different groups quests where students work together to develop a project plan and they also progress. Then reward that can be range from tangible prize, gift card, certificates to tangible reward that badges or recognition. However, it is essential that that the reward that have academic value and motivated students to continue engaging with the content. For example, reward can also include the points that contribute to their final grades or badges for achieving the key milestone. Then Symbiosis International University in Pune offer the digital badges for students who complete the gamified quizzes in a course like business administration or data science. And these badges, when earned, are displayed on students' digital profile and contribute to their overall achievements. Here, how to build up the motivation and competition through gamification in the university and college setting. So, gamification, the integration of game mechanics and elements in a non-game context that has increasingly gained the traction in educational setting across both offline and online mode in a university or college setting. The goal of gamification is to make the learning more engaging, enjoyable, and competitive, which can also boost both intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. In the Indian and international context, the use of gamification strategies in education varies both, but underlying the principle remains similar. So, leveraging the competition and collaboration and achievement driven progress. Let's discuss the role of competition in the gamification, where the first one is that leadership, a leaderboard and achievement, one of the most common game mechanics used in gamified learning environment is the leaderboard. So this feature ranks students based on their performance in assignments, tests, and activities, providing them with the immediate feedback about how they measure up compared to their peer. Then another, for example, that university in India where students are often accumulated to highly competitive academic environment such as the entrance exam and academic ranking, the use of leaders board in gamified learning platform might encourage the students to improve their academic performance as they seek to secure the place at the top. Then second is peer comparison and motivation, where competition can also come in form of peer comparison, which is also a critical motivator in both traditional and virtual learning environment. So by encouraging the students in a competition where they can also see their peers progress and compared with their own achievements, gamification foster a sense of accountability and motivation. So the example is that peer comparison in Indian classroom that can also ignite the competitive spirit. For example, university where students participate in group projects seeing their peer earn badges and recognition for excellence performance on the shared task might promote them to work harder, foster a healthy sense of competition and teamwork. Then encouraging the intrinsic motivation and collaboration through game mechanics. Where while competition is essential element, gamification also emphasizing more on the importance of intrinsic motivation, the desire to engage in activity for its inherent satisfaction rather than external reward. Game mechanics like achievements, level, and challenges that can also be used to foster intrinsic motivation making a learning process more rewarding and less reliant on the traditional grades. So the first thing that is coming here, that level and progression, by structuring the learning in terms of level, students can also feel a sense of progression as they achieve the milestone. For example, in both online and offline learning environments, students can also be given with different tasks that unlock new challenges and as they move up with the levels. Then badges and achievements, definitely achievement based rewards and other effective gamification techniques that boost the intrinsic motivation. When students earn the badges and or other recognition for completing the task, mastering the concept and contributing to group efforts, they are driven by satisfaction for achieving something meaningful. Then collaboration through game mechanics, that while competition play a role, collaboration is equally important in building up the motivation through gamification, where group challenges, teamwork, and peer feedback are game mechanics that encourage the groups to work together and exchange their ideas and support each other in the learning process. Then let's discuss how to assess the students' performance in gamified environment, which is another critical aspect or critical thing that you need to complete. So, assessing the student performance in gamified environment presents a unique opportunity, including the different challenges that are compared to traditional assessment method. So, gamification through the usage of the game mechanics that like points, levels, badges, and leaderboard provide a dynamic and engaging way to evaluate the students' progress in both offline and online university setting, where gamification offer innovative method for tracking and assessing the students' performance, blending formative assessments with continuous feedback to drive the learning. So, method for tracking and evaluating the students' progress within a gamified system, that points and badges and leaderboard. In gamified systems, students are often awarded the different points for completing the task and achieving the specific goal. But these points can also be tracked over a different time period, and which are also providing both students and instructor a clear indicator of the progress. Then these are the example where IIT, University of India, that such as IIT gamified the assessments, could also implement the competitive courses where students can also earn the different points for completing the assignment in project milestone. Badges might be also awarded for successfully finishing the difficult topics, while leaderboard can also rank the students based on their performance and in the quizzes or assignments. Then second thing is progress bar and level. Yes, another effective gamification technique that for tracking the students' progress is usage of the progress bar or levels. So these elements gives students a visual representation of how much competent they have completed and how much remain. So progression through level can also be used as an indicator of the mastery and competency. So here let's discuss the different method of tracking and evaluating the students' progress with the gamified strategy. Here the online mode, that university may also use the similar system to in the group-based learning or the project-based assessment, where students can also track their progress in semester along with projects where they complete the various milestones and each unlocking the new challenges and materials. Then, how formative assessment can be integrated into gamification process, where first thing that is coming under quizzes for formative assessment. Quiz is a very familiar aspect in among the students and among the in educators also, that you can take the assistance of quizzes as a fundamental part of formative assessment, as they offer the immediate feedback to both students and instructor. So in gamified environment, students can also be used to evaluate the students' understanding in low stake engaging the manner. These are the examples of students' engagement for the formative assessment in related to the different quizzes. Then a level of competition and mastery in gamified system. That level competition represent a type of formative assessment. These levels are usually designed to reflect a student's mastery of content and they often require students to demonstrate their understanding before moving on the next stage. So if I'm talking about the example, then Indian university that implement the gamified learning might use the system where students must complete a set of assignments or the projects to unlock the new content. For example, a student studying at a subject like economics might have a successfully complete a series of assignments and quizzes on microeconomics before moving on to the microeconomics. Then peer assessments and collaboration. In gamified environment, students can also be assessed through peer review and collaborative tasks. And these assessments allow the students to give the feedback on each other's work, fostering a sense of responsibility and community, while also providing instructor with the additional data points to evaluate the students' progress. Then how formative assessment can be integrated into gamification process, where at Indian University offering online and hybrid courses, peer assessments can also be integrated into gamified system. For example, students working on group projects that can evaluate each other's contribution with the reward based on the peer feedback. And this also encourage the collaboration and hold the students accountable not only for their work but also for their contribution to the group. Then here let's discuss the inclusive gamification, which is also including the designing for diverse learner. Inclusive gamification is that you are considering the gamification as an important strategy, even though you are considering that there may be diversity in the class. So gamification in education has proven to be a powerful tool for enhancing the student engagement, motivation, and learning outcome. However, to truly maximize its potential, it must be designed inclusively, ensuring that it caters a diverse learning style and the ability of the students by offering a varied difficulty level and different game-based learning pathway. Educator can also create an environment that support every learner's unique need both in online and offline educational setting. So the first thing which is coming here, that how to gamify the learning environment for the diverse learner. Then visual learner, that visual learner tend to absorb the information better than when it is presented through images, chart, and graphs. So gamified learning that can cater to those learners by incorporating the visual elements such as careful progress bars and badges, avatars, and charts that display their achievements. Then these are the examples that for online and for offline, where if I'm talking about the offline setting, for example, University of India that might design a gamified learning module for students studying the engineering for medical science, where students can also track their progress through visually rich infographic or interactive learning module. Then auditory learners, where auditory learners excel in when information is presented through spoken words, sounds, and verbal explanation. The gamified system can also accommodate these learners by incorporating the voiceover podcast and even gamified audio challenges where instruction and feedbacks are delivered orally. These are the examples in national and international context. Then kinesthetic kinesthetic learners thrive when they can physically engage with the learning material. And this is especially relevant in gamified environments that include simulation, role-playing game, for physical activity-based challenges, which is also by providing the students with the interactive and hands-on experiences, gamification can also cater into the learners. So these are example in case of India, where university with a strong engineering science program that can also use a gamified simulation that allow the students to physically manipulate virtually objects. Then implementing the flexible difficulty level and providing various game-based learning pathway for diverse students need. Where the first thing that is adaptive learning and difficulty level, where one of the primary advantage of gamified learning is its ability to adjust difficulty based on the learner's progress. So adaptive learning system that automatically adjust in the level of challenges based on the student's performance, ensuring that every student is adequately challenged without feeling overwhelmed or bored. Then example is that offline Indian university setting that professor could create a gamified learning experiences where students' performance on initial quizzes or challenges determine the difficulty of the subsequent task. Then second thing is providing multiple pathway for the learning, where gamified learning can also be made more inclusive by offering the different game-based learning pathways that cater to students' unique interest and ability, including the different goals. So the example is that internationally that massive open online courses that is also known as for MOOC, that platform like edX or Coursera often providing a various pathway for the learners such as self-paced learning, project-based learning, including the collaboration learning, and in courses on the environmental sciences, for instance, a learner could also choose to follow a pathway where they apply the theoretically knowledge through a practical project. Then third thing is incorporating the self-based collaborative learning by blended self-paced challenges with the collaborative activities. Gamification can also cater to both independent learner and those who benefit from the group activity dynamics. In case of Indian university, where different classes size that can often a large and gamified system that allow the self-paced learning that can be incredibly beneficial. Students can choose when and how they engage with the material, enabling more flexible, while group-based challenges encourage peer collaboration with which is important part of Indian academic culture. So, what are the different challenges and limitations of the gamification in the education, where gamification has emerged as an innovative and encouraging tool for the education, offering numerous benefits, including some challenges. So, education, as educator institution worldwide increasingly adopt the gamified approaches, it is important to recognize and address the difficulties as arise during the implementation. So the first common challenge that is faced by the educator during the integration of the gamification, that engagement drop over time. While gamification can initially excite and engage the students, maintaining that level of engagement over time that can be difficult. The novelty of game mechanics like badges, leaderboard, and reward may wear offer after a while. Students may also begin to feel that these elements are no longer motivating. Then these are examples. Then technology limitations. Yes, sometimes technology itself is not accessible for both educator and learner. So this is also playing a crucial role. Not only on all educational universities have access to necessary infrastructure as resource to the implementing high quality gamification system. Then addressing the potential drawback, that overemphasizing on the competition. While competition can also motivate for some students, it can also counterproductive and others, particularly if it became the focal point of learning expresses. When gamified system overly emphasizing more on competition through leaders board and rewards, it can create a high pressure environment leading to anxiety, stress, and even disengagement more among students who struggle to keep up. So these are another examples that I took. And Second point is distraction from the learning examples. That one of the significant risks of gamification is that student may become more focused on learning reward or completing the challenges than on truly mastering the subject matter. That the allure for of badges, points, and level may shift students' focus more on away from actual learning objectives, causing them to prioritize game mechanics over content mastery. So the third thing is difficulty in balancing the motivation and reward. Where striking the right balance between motivating students through reward and maintaining the academic rigor to the is the challenge in gamified system. If reward are given too easily, students may not feel that they have earned them, so leading to lack of satisfaction in mind of the learner. So EdTech tools for creating the interactive and engaging content, where rapid educational technology has significantly transformed how students engage with the content and interact with their instructor. So, gamified learning experiences which blend the educational content with the game-like mechanics are one of the most effective way to increase the students' engagement and motivation in both offline and online universities or colleges setting. Several edtech tools which help the educator to create interactive this is going to be high. So interactive, gamified, and engaging the content. So if I'm talking about the popular educational tool to create gamified content, then Minecraft Educational Edition, where Minecraft Educational Edition is powerful edtech tool that uses the popular Minecraft games to create interactive learning experiences. And this tool also allows the students to engage in hands-on immersive learning by building up the virtual worlds that stimulate real-world concepts. Through this platform, educator can also design the challenges that encourage the students to solve the problem, collaboration, and applying the theoretical knowledge in a practical game-based environment. Then second is Google Classroom, where Google Classroom is widely used platform for managing the coursework, assignments, and communication in educational setting. While they may not be a traditionally gamification tool, Google Classroom integrate the seamless with various third-party apps that can also help the educator to create a gamified content, quizzes, and assignments that encourage the students. Then Seesaw is educational tool that helps the learners to and the educator to create and share the digital portfolios, where it also going to allow the learners to submit their photos, videos, and drawings, including the different written reflections as a part of their learning process. And teachers can also create interactive gamified activity where students can also demonstrate their knowledge in a creating way. So promoting personalized learning experiences too. And using the simulation quizzes and interactive videos to create an engaging the learner environment, where simulation is that you are providing a very similar environment or very similar situation to the learner, which is also providing improving the opportunities for experiments and to interact with the content in a different way that are quite impossible in the traditional classroom. So then quizzes and assessments, where quizzes are integral part of the gamified learning, providing instant feedback and reinforcing the key concepts. Platform like Kahoot quizzes and Socrative allows the educator to create interactive quizzes that could also various game features like points, system board, and leaderboard, and a time constraint too. So the third thing is interactive video, where interactive videos are a powerful tool for creating an engaging learning environment by allowing the students to actively engage with the content rather than passively watching. So platforms like Edpuzzle allow the educator to embed quizzes, questions, and activities into videos, ensuring that students remain engaged and reflects on the material as they progress. Then evaluating the impact of gamification on learning outcome, where gamification which integrate games mechanism into educational setting has gained the significant attention for its potential to enhance the students' engagement, retention, and academic achievements. By making the learning more interactive, competitive, and enjoyable, gamification also aims to transform the traditional educational experiences. However, to understand its true impact, it is also essential to evaluate how these gamified systems influence the learning outcomes. Here we are going to explore the research and case studies that demonstrate the effectiveness of the gamification, as well as the different methods for assessing the long-term impact on the gamified learning on students' motivation and academic success with the example. So first thing, that is case study on the students' engagement and retention. One of the most notable benefit of the gamification is its ability to increase the students' engagement, where gamified environment that learner earn the different points or the rewards that can make the learning more engaging and enjoyable, leading to greater participation and improved learning outcome. Then case study and academic achievement, where gamification is also tutored for its ability to improve the academic achievements by motivating the students to perform the better in assessments and examination. Then these are also examples associated with that. Then different methods of evaluating the long-term impact on the gamified learning experiences for the students' motivation and academic success. Where first thing is longitudinal study, where these longitudinal study track the students' performance and motivation over an extended period, allowing the researchers to evaluate the sustained impact on the gamified learning experiences by following the students for several semesters or even years. Researcher can also gain insights into whether gamified learning results in lasting the improvement in its academic success and students' motivation. Then survey and interview. Yes, this is another method that for evaluating the long-term impact of gamification is through survey and interview with the students and instructor. And these qualitative assessments provide the insights into how students perceive the gamified learning and its effects on their motivation, academic goal, and self-regulation skills. Then academic performance data analysis, that to evaluate the academic success for of students in gamified environment, educator can also analyze the performance data comparing the grades and progression of the students who participated in gamified courses to those who did not. So here we are at the end of the session, where in this session the gamification education offer dynamic approaches to enhancing the students' engagement, motivation, and learning outcome by integrating core game elements such as points, badges, and leaders board. Educator can also create interactive and enjoyable learning outcome through the application of game-based learning principle. The students are encouraged to engage deeply with the content, enhancing both retention and academic performance, where EdTech tools like Kahoot, quizzes, and Classcraft play a pivotal role in bringing the gamified lesson to life, making the learning more immersive and personalized. While gamification represents numerous benefits in its ascension to address the challenges such as technology, limitation, and overemphasizing on the competition, the potential is distraction from core learning objectives. So, by designing the inclusive and flexible gamified experiences that cater to diverse learning style, educator can also ensure that all students benefit. Ultimately, research supports the positive long-term impact on the gamification, demonstrating its effectiveness in fostering the academic success and sustained motivation. So here, this is all about today's session, where in this session we introduce the gamification in education. We defined to integrate the educational tool with the gamification for enhanced learning, And we also talked about the inclusive gamification, designing the diverse learners. If you are having any query related to this session or related to any previous session, you can ask your query through dropping your query in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself to ask your query also.
Okay, madam, thank you. As the speaker madam rightly said, the session is open for discussion. You can clarify your doubts through chat box or unmuting your mics. I repeat, dear participants, the session is open for discussion. You can clarify your doubts through chat box or unmuting your mics.
Ma'am, can I raise one question, please?
Yes, you may.
Yeah, ma'am, this is Seema Kalchuri. I'm from Madhya Pradesh. Basically, ma'am, I'm teaching MBA students. So,
Okay.
yeah, ma'am, how can this gamification help me to, how can I implement it in my postgraduate students' classroom?
Ma'am, there are multiple sessions, topics that we talked about here in this session. That what are the different strategies that you can adopt to gamify your activities, where different quizzes, where different activities you can include in your session. So this is not nothing like that. What do you want to say? Uh,
I just
like
wanted, yeah, ma'am, I just wanted to know that whether there are some specific gamification techniques like quizzes, puzzles, and management games, simulation games.
yes,
We
yes,
have already incorporated in our curriculum. It's a part of the MBA curriculum. But
yes.
which strategy is particularly the USP for post graduation students? The gamification, because it might be different from the BBA students or anybody who's studying at the undergraduate level. So what particular strategies is different at the classroom level of postgraduate students and undergraduate students?
For you may go with the leaderboard, that progressive tracking also. Leaderboard is like that you are giving the different roles, and you are talking about the different badges and different points that they are achieving through these assignments, through these performance quizzes and case studies also. Then you may go with the different quizzes or virtual games also. You may go with the another thing that you may come with that role playing also, that another strategy that you may go, that you are giving the different roles to the learners, that okay, this is your role, this is your role, and this is situation, just like to solve the case study, right? Case study is one thing, and role playing is a second thing. Even though you can combine both with each other, although you can combine the role play with the simulation too, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Then progressive strategy that you can also go with the, that you are giving some topics or some concepts to the learner, that okay, this is the topic that we are going to discuss here. And even though we will talk about the practical application or practical skill of this concept after achieving the one phase or half phase, then you may involve that concept with the students practically during the session,
Hmm.
with
Yeah,
the
ma'am.
discussion.
Yeah.
Just like the storytelling, you may say, or you may say it as a narrative technique, that you are narrating the things, or you are forming the story somehow, that students are feeling involved in that activity with the content that you are delivering.
Hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Then
Yes, ma'am.
another thing that you may uh, take the assistance of what you say team activity, that you are making few teams with the 2 3 students, 4 5 students suppose, and you are giving one situation, that okay, this is situation like we were talking about this as a project, but still it is coming under the collaborative team learning,
Yeah.
right?
Projective techniques also we can use, ma'am. Projective techniques.
Projective
Okay.
techniques, in the sense that when I was doing my MBA, that faculty was using that, okay, make the group of 5 students, give them a research work, they will go with the go in the field and they will collect the data and they will represent that project in the classroom. But still you can come up with the collaborative team activity, that okay, this is the different tasks that we are going, not the project, not the research work, but we are giving this task to this group that may be associated with the marketing or HR or project management too, or financial activity also you may come up with. So this is somehow like collaborative team you may say, or group based activity you may say, right?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thanks for your input.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Is there any other
Anybody else?
query?
Anybody else? Anybody else? Any doubts? Any clarification?
इसका जवाब लिखना तो जुमले में लेकिन सुन
Dear participants, any doubts? Any questions? Any clarifications?
सही बोले अगर शानदार जंगली
Any doubts? Any question? Any clarification? Madam, see, any chat is there? Any question is there?
Oh, okay, sir. Okay. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, thank you. Nice session. Nice. Gamification really helps to students for long learning. How it will be helpful for practical orientation.
Okay, how it will helpful for practical orientation. If I'm talking about the practical orientation, then it is also playing a significant role in promoting the long-term learning. So, which is no enhancing the educational experiences for learner, for educator both, because gamification is somehow engaging the students during the content delivery for overall activity. It is making this activity interactive plus practical. So it is also helping the students to learn during the activity, means learn by doing, and it is also that more retention oriented activity, that if I'm going with any activity, definitely I'll learn something new out of that activity, plus I'll learn the content too. Then it is also developing some no collaboration habit in my behavior, and some analytical skill is also increasing or enhancing, that I am analyzing different things that are somehow associated with both activity plus the content, right? And it is also giving me the practical implication of that content, that how this content, suppose demand and supply, or suppose any content, that how two projects are no cost benefit analysis, or equilibrium analysis in the finance, or recruitment selection process in the HR. So it is giving me the practical application or implication of that content in the real world setting. So you may go with the these different activities like simulation, then you may go with the collaborative teamwork, or during the process feedback you may collect. So it is also enhancing the learning in part of the learner through these activities, which is also giving them the insights about the different role that you may play when you were supposed to go in the organization in the market. Then it is also giving them the risk taking ability, that okay, if this situation really going to happen in the real world scenario, then whether I am capable to take that step or not, which is including some risk for me, for my organization too. Is there any other query?
Yeah, anybody else? So, madam, can you recap the entire FDP in a few lines, especially day-wise, what we studied in day 1, day 2, day 3, likewise?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We may no conclude this session
Summarize.
here. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We can summarize this session with the few topics that we discussed here. That here in this session we talked about in this program we talked about the active learning strategies, where the different strategies that we talked about associated with the educator, associated with the learner, both. That what are the different strategies that you may adopt during the learning to transform your sessions or to transform your classroom in such a way that every learner can understand your content or your concept well in a proper way. Where in that session we talked about the active learning, and we also talked about the various educational theories, including some pedagogical strategies. So in another session we talked about the technology enhanced teaching and blended learning, including the flipped and hybrid learning also. Where in that session we talked about the blended learning and flipped learning module in detail. And in that session, if I'm not wrong, we talked about how to assess the learning in blended and flipped model too. Then in that session also we tried to discuss the different challenges or the different no uh, uh, ways to overcome all those challenges which are somehow associated with implementing the implemented the blended and flipped learning in the classroom. So in that session also we talked about how these blended learning and effective learning, including the hybrid learning approaches, are effective for the learner and also for the educator. That how these three strategies are going to assist the educator. Here in another session we talked about authentic assessment and feedback, designing the meaningful evaluation, where in that session we talk about the role of formative and authentic assessment in detail, where in that session we also talked about how to design the formative assessment for the continuous feedback, because designing of the formative assessment and designing of the summative assessment really plays a very important role for the feedback assessment. Then in that session, we also talked about the technology that you may use for enhancing the formative assessment and authentic assessment too. In that session also, we talked about the different no influences, you may say, or outcome of the formative and authentic assessments for the students, including for the educator. Then in fourth session, or sorry, in the last session, we talked about the inclusive and differentiated instruction, and addressing the diverse learner requirement. So in that session, we talked about how to first identify, or how to first find out the diversity that is available in the classroom. What are the different requirement or reason to find out or to identify the diversity. Then in that session, we also talked about the adaptation of the assessment practical for diverse learner. And we also talked about that different strategies that are somehow associated with the supporting the English language learner, where the learner is not having the English as a first language. Then what are the different strategies or practical methodology that you can adopt to make them comfortable, to make them understand the content that you are delivering when diversity is higher in the class. In that session also we talked about the emotional and social learning need of the diverse learner. So here in the today's session where we talked about the gamification and educate integration and making the learning more interactive and fun, where in this session we talked about the gamification in education, its significance and different strategies that you can adopt to make the gamification more interesting and informative and understanding to the learner. Here we also talked about how to integrate the educational tool with the gamification for enhanced learning. And here we also talked about inclusive gamification designing for the diverse learner. So if still you are having any query or any simplification you requiring in related to any content or concept, you can drop your query in the chat box, or you can ask your query through dropping through unmuting yourself.
Thank you very much, madam. So, dear participants, the session is still open for the discussion. You can clarify your doubts through chat box or unmuting your mics. I repeat, dear participants, the session is still open for the discussion. You can clarify your doubts through chat box or unmuting your mics. Even you can clarify your doubts from day one session to till now. Am I right, madam?
Yes, sir, definitely.
Yeah. So, dear participants, soon after this session, we will share the feedback link, and tomorrow morning we will share all e-certificates in delegates WhatsApp group.
Sir, I was not able to submit that screenshot. So,
No problem. Oh, no,
contact
we already took. Don't worry, we already took.
okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, okay, madam, shall we stop here?
Yes, sir, we may stop here if there is no query.
Yeah. So, with this, we'll stop here. Once again, we'll meet in some other online program. So, tomorrow we are going to organize one more one-day national level online workshop on research papers writing using AI tools. That will be going to start from tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. And day after tomorrow, we have 5 days FDP come workshop on research methodology, literature review, and references. So with this, we'll stop here. Once again, we'll meet in some other online event virtually. So till then, take care. Bye bye. Thank you, participants. Thank you, madam. Thank you, speaker, madam. Good night, participants. Good night,
Thank
speaker,
you,
madam.
sir. Thank you so much to the
Thank
all
you,
the
sir.
participants who are present here.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Good night, madam.
Là